Alright, I think we're live. If you guys can hear me, let me know. Haven't done this in forever, so hopefully I remember how to get this started. But once you guys let me know, I will pop the chat out and we will get this going. Okay. What's up, guys? You guys can hear me? Awesome. Welcome back. I've missed you all. These were always so fun last year, so I'm looking forward to doing these once again. Let's see who's all here. Trey's in here. What's up? What's up, Obi? He says number 9. I think number 9 has a good chance of winning today at the road course. What's up, Sub? Dave, what is up? Brandon says, I'm new to NASCAR. Heard you're the guy to come to. I'm ready to make some money then. Awesome, Brandon. Glad you're here, and ask any question that you want. I pretty much said everything I wanted to say in the breakdown preview video, whatever you want to call it. So this is mainly just a Q&A. It's an interactive thing, so I will go as long as you guys want me to go, as long as we're not going past lock. So yeah, ask any questions you want, silly or serious, doesn't matter to me. What is up, Max? Psyched for the new season, he says. Let's get it. Totally agree, Max. Cannot wait. I'll just keep saying hello to everyone until we get everyone in here. Let everyone come on in here. Let's see. I think Paper Chaser's in here. What's up? Nice to see you in here. Drew says all good. Yes, we are back. What's up, Ryan? Glad to be back. Tim Hunt says, what's up, man? I'm excited NASCAR is back. Me too. It's like the shortest, longest off season ever, because most sports have several months. NASCAR only a couple of months, but definitely was a long wait. Chris Austin says the GOAT. Appreciate it, Chris. Max says, have I tried Taco Bell yet? I have not. I don't plan on trying Taco Bell just because I'm not a big fast food guy, but I do like tacos, though. I do like tacos. What's up, Kevin? Let's see. Robert says, so glad NASCAR is back. That went quick. Free 20 sportsbook bet tonight. Let's go, Denny. You got Denny on your bet tonight? Yeah, I mean, it's just hard not to bet Chase for me, but, I mean, Denny, I would say if I had to bet in order of who I think's going to win, I would say either Chase, Truex, Hamlin in that order. But yeah, I don't mind taking a shot on Hamlin. He does have that track position to start the race as well. Dustin says, finally NASCAR season, let's get it. Totally agree, Dustin. Cannot wait. What's up, Danny? He says we are back. Yes, we are. So if you guys have any questions, we'll do it. Bonnie says, what's up, Chris? What's up, Bonnie? He says, pick one, Recce, MDB, or Buescher. So I think I have more Recce than I do any of those other guys. Now, they are close. I think Recce is the best for cash games, as crazy as that sounds, the guy named Recce. But for where he's starting in 20th place, he should be a top 20 contender. The other guys can lose spots. I think those other guys are better suited for tournaments. I do have quite a bit of all Recce Stenhouse Jr. I think I just said Recce on accident. I was trying to say his real name. MDB and Buescher, but I do have Recce of the most of those guys, so I would pick him. Chase says, I don't want to swear in here. Darn right, Chase is going to win. I totally agree. I think he's going to win, and nice to see you, Chase. I know you try to message me on Facebook sometimes, but I do not use Facebook, so if I have some unread messages from you on there, I am sorry, but nice to have you back. Robert says Denny has better plus over Chase. Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can definitely get better odds on Denny Hamlin for sure. Max says Kyler Harvick for cash tonight. In my cash lineup, or just the one lineup I have for single entries and tournaments, I have a lot of lineups. I got 150, so I'm hoping I have most of my bases covered. But if I had to pick between those guys, I'm going to pick Kevin Harvick. I know Harvick wasn't the greatest at the road course last season here, but neither was Kyle Busch. I think he finished 37th in that race. And recently, he has not been that good at road courses. Now, that's not to say I don't like Kyle Busch here. I do. I have over 45 or 50% of Kyle Busch. It's just, if I had to pick between those two, I would take Kevin Harvick. I feel like he's definitely someone I can feel a little bit more safe with. Andre says, what's up, Chris? Andre from California here again, signing up for Patreon again for baseball and NASCAR. Awesome, Andre. Can't wait to have you on there. Those are my two favorite DFS sports. I love when spring comes around because we have baseball and NASCAR, and I'm very busy, but it's a fun busy, that's for sure. Whoops, thought I heard something. Anyway, FE says, or I'm sorry, skip one. Rob says, Harvick or Kyle Busch in single entry. Probably just answered your question for the other guy that I was talking to, but I'll go Harvick there. But it is close, but I will side with Harvick. FE says, woo, the GOAT is back, CP16. Appreciate that, man. Trey says, Optimal will have Ty Dillon tonight. You heard it first. I hope not, because I don't have a lot of Ty Dillon, but he is in pretty good equipment in Bubba Wallace's new car, in the 23 car, but I feel like he's going to be using this more of a practice session for Bubba Wallace and their team, so I'm a little bit hesitant of using Ty Dillon tonight, but I have a sprinkle of it just in case something happens. Joe says, good job on 1/8. Is that January 8th? I'm trying to think of what that would be off the top of my head, but you can let me know if I'm not. I don't know what I did January 8th, but Robert says, Chase plus 185, Denny plus 800. Is Denny really plus 800? Jeez, yeah, that's definitely good odds. I mean, I'd say he's got a very good shot finishing inside the top 3, and if something happens to Chase Elliott and Truex and he's got the track position, yeah, I mean, that's a pretty darn good bet. Obi says, oh man, Recchi, he's a big wild card. As much as I hate playing the guy, I play him quite a bit. Ryan says, I know he's not in the race, but can we get a Lawnmower Man reference, please? Well, see, I'm afraid to give him the Lawnmower Man reference because he's in a new car this season. I feel like it might have a little bit more juice, so maybe we should give him a race to see if he's going to be the Lawnmower Man or not, but we'll see. We might get it later on, though. We might have a new Lawnmower Man this season. I guess we'll have to see. Tracy says, I changed 2 drivers in cash game after watching your video today. I was always told to go with your first pick, so I'm playing both in a 10-cent game just to see which does better. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. I know sometimes in different sports, if I'm between 1 or 2 or even 3 lineups, instead of just playing a single entry, I'll just play a 3-entry max and play all of them so I can see which one would have been the best. FE says, playing place differential or Dom tonight. I'm mainly focusing on place differential. I have very little Ryan Blaney tonight. As crazy as that sounds, you guys know I love Ryan Blaney. I plan on wearing my Ryan Blaney shirt for the Daytona 500 video and live stream and all that good stuff. But I don't have much Blaney because we only have 35 laps, which equates to around 24, 25 total Dominator points. And do we really think Ryan Blaney is going to dominate the entire race? I know he's not a bad road course driver, but to be able to hold off Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, Truex, Harvick, all those guys the entire race, I feel like the likelihood of that is pretty low. And at that point, if he loses the lead, I'd say there's a good chance he could slip outside the top 5. And I just don't really love the Dominators here. So I'm very low on the guys starting up to the front. Although I will say, from the guys starting inside the top 5, I do have a decent chunk of Denny Hamlin because I do think he can get a top 3 and lead some laps and potentially pick up a win. Tracy says, I dropped William and Chris for Kurt and Eric. I definitely think that's a really good way to go in cash games for sure. I think Kurt and Eric are definitely going to be much higher owned, and I feel like their floors are much safer. And also the return of the Mason jar. I know a lot of you guys always love seeing this every time. Oh, and also, if my camera happens to get blurry at any point, sometimes they'll do that if I get out of the picture. Please let me know, and I'll fix it. I just have to unplug it quick. Greg says, hey CP, who is your favorite lower price driver starting in the top 10 for a pivot off of Eric Almirola and Recchi? So let's see, lower price driver starting inside the top 10. I wish Chris Buescher was starting in the top 10 because that would be my answer, but I guess if I had to pick a lower priced one, really the only option here would be Cole Custer, so I'll have to go there. I have a very, very small amount of Cole Custer, but not a lot because I really don't think he's going to finish inside the top 10. Now, if guys like Buescher, Dillon, Newman, Ty Dillon, all these guys have problems, and Cole Custer can stay inside the top 10, top 11, I mean, that's not the worst play in the world, but I do have a very little amount of those guys. Although, Pivot, I guess he is similarly priced to Eric Almirola. MDB, I do have a good chunk of Matt DiBenedetto now. It's not nearly as much as Eric Almirola. I'd say it's even more than half less, but I do think MDB would be a good pivot, but again, he's not inside the top 10, so I guess I'm not really answering your question that well. Drew says, feeling good about Byron as a pivot tonight, constantly has top 10 or top 5 speed on road courses, but usually has to use dumb pit strategy to get stage points. That won't be a problem tonight. I actually like Byron quite a bit. Now, if he was starting just a little bit further back, if he was like 8th, 9th, 10th, something like that, I would have a good amount of William Byron because I do think he's a very strong tournament play. He did finish 8th here last season. It's just starting 5th. The upside is small, but I do have William Byron tonight. I am by no means fading him. I'm somewhere between that 10 to 20% range, which I feel like is a good amount of William Byron to have because I think he might have top 5 potential here if he brings a fast car. Jensen says he thinks Byron is a good GPP play. I agree with you as well. Let's see. Joe says last driver, Newman or Ty Dillon. Oh man, that is a tough one. I feel like Ryan Newman is more likely to lose spots than Ty Dillon, so I guess I will say Ty Dillon, but I'm going to be honest, those are 2 of my lowest owned drivers, so I really don't like either one that much. But I think I might have Ty Dillon just slightly higher in projections, I think off the top of my head. MC Sub says, a general question, I have stacked up like 45 to 50 tickets for Sunday's contest. I usually only play a couple of lineups. How do you manage so many? Do you do them all manually, or is there a quick way? So what I do, I recommend this to everybody that does multi-enter. I use Fantasy Cruncher, and what I do is I upload my projections to Fantasy Cruncher, and then I spend all weekend building lineups, crunching that. Then I can export it to an CSV, something like that. V's and C's are in there, and then I export it to Draftkings, and it's as quick as that. If I have to pivot, I just re-crunch, copy paste it to the new sheet, and it's as easy as that. It is a little bit pricey, but I do think it's worth it if you do build like 20 to 150 lineups every single slate. Because if I was hand building that, I would be an absolute nightmare, and it would probably give me a big headache. Chase says, do you want to discuss the strategy difference with points changing on DK? I don't think it's going to be a big factor here because we're all dealing with the same amount of points. I just don't think it's going to change too much. I realize fast laps did take a bit of a hit, and finishing position took some hit as well. You get different points for jumping into a tier. But in a race like this, I don't think it's going to be too much of a factor. We only have 21 cars. It can be a factor at other tracks, especially if there's a lot of laps. It'll be a bit of a hit to the dominator points overall. But just for this track, I don't think it's going to be too much of a big deal. So I'm not going to go too in-depth there, but I'm sure we'll discuss that very soon as the season progresses. Wes says, great content as always. Thoughts on adding one and done strategy? One and done strategy. What's a one and done strategy? Is like a contest where you have to pick a driver every single week and then it gets taken away or something like that? Because I have heard of those things, but have to be a little more specific there because I'm not totally sure. Jason says, where's McLeod? I'm not right. How did McLeod not make the Clash this year? He just was so dominant last season. I have no idea how. Dustin says, I need some cash plays. Cash plays, Dustin, they're going to be all the guys starting in the back. We're talking Truex, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, Almirola, Ricky Stenhouse. Now, I know Chase Elliott's not starting in the back, but he's definitely in play for cash games just because he is so darn good at road courses. 4 wins in a row with these types of tracks. He dominated here last season, had all the best numbers. So those are pretty much your cash game plays. Or Kurt Busch, too. I kind of glossed over him. But the tournament plays, those are going to be the guys starting closer to the front and towards the middle. Chase says, my bad, I'm messaging you too much on the messenger, my man. Any chance you're going to have tourneys? Oh, no, don't worry. You weren't bothering me whatsoever. I don't even get notifications for Facebook. I just know sometimes I'd log in and I'd miss some of your messages and I feel pretty bad because I do like getting back to people. But am I going to have tourneys again? Yes, I wasn't going to do one for the Clash because I didn't think this would have too much hype. So I wasn't sure if we're going to be able to fill it because if we extend it to 100 people, I think if it's below 20 people, it can resize your contest. But if we get to 100, it has to fill. And I didn't want it to not to fill because that happened one time and the contest didn't run. And I felt pretty bad about that. But for the Daytona 500, I don't think we'll have a problem filling like 100 to 200 people for that. So I'll definitely do that. I'll let you guys know if it's going to be paid or if it's just going to come out of my pocket. I guess that would be the nice thing to do, but I guess we'll see how I'm feeling that day. Wes says, great content as always. Oh, sorry, I already read that. FE says, Kyle was on the lawnmower. He definitely was on a lawnmower for decent portions of the year last season, man. That guy he did not have his usual top-end speed, but that's definitely from the lack of practice, although I say that, but everyone else was dealing with the same thing. But Kyle Busch is definitely the guy that likes to have practice. Glenn says, who do you say hanging back then making move in second segment? Oh, I'm not sure if they're going to really hang back too much. I don't think anyone's going to really try to hang back. Maybe Ty Dillon. I feel like he's going to use this as a big practice session for that car, so I really don't see Ty Dillon making any big moves. And even then, if he wanted to make a big move in the second segment, I don't really think he's going to be able to do that too much. I can't really see him getting inside the top 10. He's got some decent equipment, but I'm not really sure we're going to see any guys kind of staying back. Now, in the Daytona 500, we're all avoiding wrecks. I'm sure definitely some big-name guys are going to try to hang back like we saw in recent races, but I'm not really sure we'll see that too much here. Max says, Chase, Truex, Kurt, and Eric, a good core for 20 max. Yeah, those are pretty much some of my highest owned drivers, Max. So, yeah, I'd say that's definitely a good core to go with. Ian says, hopefully Recchi won't be driving fast enough to cause his usual carnage at Daytona. Yeah, that's one thing. He only has 35 laps, too. So I'm hoping with such a short race, I think it's, 120 some miles? Not sure exactly off the top of my head. Hopefully that's not enough time for him to absolutely blow up the field. Kay says, do you play NASCAR on Super Draft? I do not. Although I do want to mention that I was talking with Monkey Night Fight today. And if you guys play NASCAR content over there, we might be working something out. So I'll let you guys know that in the future, hopefully the near future. So if any of you guys play over there, you can let me know. And you can tell me what you like and don't like. And maybe we can discuss some things. Max says Suarez will always be the lawnmower man. Yeah, I don't think we'll find a new lawnmower man. And plus, it's just funny having Suarez as that. Hopefully his new car isn't too fast or anything like that, so we can keep calling him that. Chris says, hit that like for our guy. Yeah, appreciate that. I don't know how many people are in here. I didn't really check. It's a weeknight, and it's also the Clash. I'm not assuming too many people are in here, but the chat is pretty active. So, yeah, if you're in here, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. Agree with Andre. X Jensen says, do I like Logano at all? I do like Logano. I have a decent amount of him, but he's really in no man's land for me. He's right in the middle for me for everything. I don't love him. I don't hate him. I just kind of like him. And I don't like where he's starting, but I don't hate where he's starting. So I kind of just... I'm a little bit indifferent on him. When I was looking at ownership projections, I try to just kind of be even with the field on Logano because I don't have a strong lean either way. So I'm kind of just trying to match the field on Joey Logano. If he sucks, I guess I'll be right on even with the field. If he does good, I'll be even. So that's kind of my strategy for Logano in this one. Greg says, who is your biggest chalk fade? So I'm not sure if Keselowski is going to have as much ownership as I was looking at for ownership projections, because I was seeing him around 25%, if not a little bit higher, and I don't personally see that happening. I could see him being lower, but if that's correct, I could see myself being lowest on Brett Keselowski compared to the field just because of where he's starting. I know the price is nice for a guy like Keselowski. The guy's a good driver. It's just, I wouldn't be surprised if he falls outside the top 5, and I don't really see him dominating, so I'm not really sure why I'd want to play him too much. So I guess Keselowski would be my biggest chalk fade, but I don't really think he's going to be as high owned as I was looking. So maybe if Hamlin's going to have a ton of ownership, I might be a little bit underweight in the field. But if Ryan Blaney is going to be chalk because he's on the pole, I'll definitely be way underweight on Ryan Blaney. But if he comes in around 15-20%, I'll be maybe just a little bit lower than that. Tobias says, Kurt Busch or Eric Jones? Kurt Busch easily for me. I don't know if you guys know, but Eric Jones, he is now in much worse equipment. Although Bubba Wallace on the road course last year didn't have a bad race. I know he didn't finish that great because he got spun by, I believe it was Alex Bowman. Was it the last lap or the second to last lap, something like that? So I forget where I was going with that. But Eric Jones is in worse equipment now. He was in the Joe Gibbs racing car, number 20. That is not the case anymore. And he's $7,200 starting ninth. I don't like that at all. So he's one of my lower owned drivers on the slate. Ryan says CSV file. Yeah, I always get the C and the S mixed up. Dave says, how much Logano you playing? I think somewhere between like 25 to 40% is a good range to have for Joey Logano. Spread Attack says Ryan Blaney wins from the pole. Hey, I'm a big Ryan Blaney fan. I would not mind that, although I guess my bank account wouldn't like that too much because I'm a little bit underweight on Ryan Blaney, I think. So, but I do love Ryan. Chase says, other CP, let's do a PayPal $5 bet. You got Ryan, I get Chase. Whichever person's driver does worse has to... I don't like that bet. I definitely want Chase Elliott's side of that bet, so I will not be partaking in that. Chase says, 89 people watching. I'm surprised we got 89 people on a weekday for the Clash. That's awesome. Hopefully we can get a ton of people for the Daytona 500. I remember at some point last year, was it for the Coke 600? We had like 500 people in here. That was awesome. That was really hard to keep up with the chat, though. I feel like I was like 20, 30 minutes behind answering people's questions. But yeah, hit the like button. It really does help me out. Wes says, one driver per week for regular season. Reset at playoffs, you get same points as driver you pick season long. Well, I'll be happy to answer a question for that every single live stream, but I'm not going to be able to do a video for that every single week. But if you want to come in and ask me a question, I'll be more than happy to answer that for you. Amanda says, I'm late, but I'm here. Hey, it's better late than never. Welcome in. Whoops, my chat went all the way down. Trying to go quick, so because I remember last year I was like so behind on the chat all the time. Because I could just go from the bottom what I see, but I feel bad missing people's chats. Kay says, should we stack the back or have more front? I wouldn't say just full on stack the back Daytona 500 style, but the majority of my lineups have guys starting from the rear. I'm not saying go with like a Dillon, Stenhouse, Almirola, kind of guys like that, just full-on guys like that, but a good amount of my lineups have the majority of the drivers from the back. Chase says, another strategy you all must do is leaving money on the table. Do not use all of your salary every single time. Yeah, totally agree, especially for the Daytona 500 we can start using scrubs, but for this race, I was looking at Fantasy Cruncher, and a lot of my lineups were in like the $48,000 range, so I'm certainly leaving some salary on the table. Don't feel like you have to just full on out $50,000 salary on your lineups, because that's a good way to get different, leaving salary on the table. And NASCAR is one of those sports where it's a pretty good thing to do that. Like if you're playing NBA or things like that, NFL, it's usually not the best to leave a whole bunch of salary on the table, but NASCAR is certainly a sport where you could. Dustin says Almirola, Kurt Busch, Chase, Truex, Harvick, and Stenhouse. For cash, yeah, that's pretty much what you should be running for cash games. That's actually what my projections like the most. And I feel like if that's the winning lineup tonight in the $8 contest, I 150 max that, so we'll see how that goes. I wasn't sure if I should do that for the Clash, but I said why not. If that lineup is the one that wins, it's going to be a monster tie. Like, I'm sure that could be like 100 person sometime, because that's a really popular lineup to make. But that's what I'd be running in cash games for sure. Obi-Wan says, I'm in when your contests start. Awesome, Obi. I will let you guys know on the Daytona video, which I assume I'll be posting on Friday. I think, because probably around Friday. So I'll let you guys know that. FE says, Rick Fogel just signed up on Patreon. Appreciate that, Rick, which I think is FE231 nail, if I'm correct. So appreciate that. Let's see. He said, sign up with your NASCAR Patreon, brother. You made me enough money with the NFL to cover. Awesome. Glad to hear that. I like covering NFL, but I really love covering NASCAR the most. Plus, you guys are a really fun community. The NFL community, I mean, it's solid, but the NASCAR community is pretty fun. You guys always do show a ton of support on here. Appreciate it. Greg says, any competition caution day and will a be needed? I think you might be missing a word there, but there is going to be a caution on lap 15, which makes the guy starting up front even worse, because I think by that point, I think a Chase Elliott, a Harvick, a Busch, a Truex should be up there to be able to, contend for the lead at that point. Harold says, Chase Elliott will start from the rear tonight for unapproved adjustments. Is that true? Well, I don't know why you'd be lying, so I assume that is true. I think someone in my Discord chat just said that as well, so I appreciate that. That does not change much for me at all for Chase. Like, I know I had the same thing happen in the championship race. I know you can't compare this race to the championship race whatsoever, but I mean, he's only going back, we have 21 car field. It's not like he's going to 40th place, so he's going from 7th to 21st, so that's not too big of a deal for me. I think Chase Elliott should be able to get to the front fairly quickly, and if that's going to lower his ownership, I think that makes him an even better play. People are going to be scared of that. So thank you, Harold, for the update, because I am not on Twitter right now, so I really do appreciate when you guys give me updates in the live chat. David says, finally, new season is here. Let's get it, fellas. No rain as of now. I'm 2 miles from the track. I'm doing the rain dance. Always appreciate your updates on Twitter, David. Love getting the pictures. He is my weather guy when we head to Florida. Dave says, I'm liking Angry Kyle tonight. Kyle is a character. But yeah, I like Kyle Busch. I have a decent amount of Kyle Busch tonight. Andre says, this guy's money on Patreon for NASCAR and baseball. He made me a grip last year. Legit. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate that, Andre. Thank you very much. Amanda says, I'm going to be rejoining your Patreon now that NASCAR is back. Thank you, Amanda. Appreciate it. Very much so. Greg says, Super Draft is amazing. Get Salvetri to get you connected. Good revenue stream for you and your followers for sign-up bonuses. Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, I'm open up to anything, really. Definitely not against getting more revenue streams, for sure. I've never played it before, so I'd probably have to test it out before I actually try to give info for that, because I don't want to give you guys bad info just to get some money. So maybe I can try it out this weekend, see how it goes. Gerald says, who do you like better, Almirola or Byron? I like Almirola a little bit better. I mean, Byron's a better tournament play, and I feel like he has higher finishing position potential, but Eric Almirola is just such a safe play starting in 21st. He can't lose points, really, so I would say Eric Almirola there. Death Star says, I'm just here to see how your NASCAR guys plan out versus us NBA people. Well, I play NBA too. Now, I don't do content on YouTube for NBA, but I do it on my Patreon, and it is an absolute mess. I have to update things, it feels like every single minute, because guys get rolled out for like a stub pinky toe. It seems like 2 minutes before lock. Guys get rolled out before lock. It's a mess, man. But it's been a good NBA season. You just got to really keep on top of it. David says, news, Chase to the back. Appreciate the update, guys. Leviathan, I think that's how you say the name. I apologize if I'm screwing that up. But he says, woohoo, we're back. Yes, we are. Couldn't wait for this moment. Dave says, I don't think that will matter too much. I don't really think it's going to be too much of a big deal as well. Oops. Okay, let's see. Jesse says, Stenhouse, Austin Dillon, or Buescher. So if you're going for safety, I would say Stenhouse. If you want a little bit more upside, I think Chris Buescher is a pretty strong play. Personally, though, I have more Stenhouse than Buescher. So hopefully that answers your question. Up was Toyd says, Elliott starting from back. Does that change things much? It might. Hashtag 960. Oh, you're from my Discord chat? I always wonder who that was. I mean, it might change his projection, maybe like a point or two, just in terms of being able to dominate, but I still like him. It shouldn't change things too much. Chase Elliott's so good at road courses. I still think he should win this race. Chase says Monkey Knife Fight is fun. I win a lot more in DK, but it is a fun site too. Yeah, I was looking at their contest today. It doesn't look too bad. I thought it would look pretty fun. I was thinking about trying it out. David says, yeah, no, just want to let everyone know. Chase says Coke 600, we had over 500 people. Yeah, that was a real fun one. I think I did that during qualifying, so you were kind of just all messing around, waiting for seeing how qualifying was going. Everyone was freaking out when, I think it was Almirola, he spun or something, started dead last. That was a really fun stream. A lot of people, and that was when NASCAR was the only sport, so that was a good time. Jeff says, we back? Yes, we are, Jeff. Kemper says, who is your favorite too cheap drive? I'm assuming you mean drivers. My favorite two cheap drivers would be Stenhouse and Almirola on this slate, just from where they're starting. I also like Busch in tournaments, so I'll give you 3. Drew says Elliott starting in the back. Now he'll be in the lead on lap 10 instead of lap 5. And I don't know if you guys remember the championship race, but I swear, I don't remember exactly. I'd have to go back and look. But he started in the back, and I want to say he was inside the top 10 by the... it was like 20 laps? I mean, the guy was insane. I feel like he had more horsepower in his car than everybody else, which, maybe they did, but he was so fast. Michael says, do I like Matty D? I do like Matty D. I have a good amount of Matty D. I think he's a fine tournament player. The guy's not too bad at road courses. I mean, if you're looking at the overall numbers for him, a lot of that is some worse equipment. He's in a good car. He's pretty much in a Penske car. I think he can get a top 10. At least contend for one. My better play. I think I just answered Amanda's lineup as well. Let's see. Gray says, will a pit be needed? They said a pit won't be needed under green flag, so it could just go clean as long as we have a clean race. Dave says the NFL community is way too serious. They're kind of bullies over there. Not saying there's not a lot of good people in the NFL community, but there's some mean people. There's some mean people over there for sure. Gerald says Busch or Harvick. I'll side with Harvick there, although it is close. Chase says, what's your favorite monkey knife fight bet on this site? Well, I'm not that far into it yet, so I can't give you anything. So we'll try that for Daytona 500. How about that? Let's see. Damon says Eric Jones. You like Eric Jones? I liked him a lot last season. But if DraftKings is going to overprice him to the start of the season, like price him if he was still in the 20 car, I think he'd be a good fade candidate as long as he's starting near the front. Jesse says, watch your videos all last year. Decided to subscribe to your Patreon today. I saw that, Jesse. Appreciate that. Hope you like all the information on there. There's a lot of good stuff on there. A lot of good stuff, at least in my opinion. Might be biased there. Chase says, audio in and out, Chris. Is it? Well, if it is, more people, please let me know, because that's not good. Okay, Amanda says, I'm from Panhandle of Florida, and we had bad storms come through this morning, and I'm glad to hear it's dry down there, because we're still getting showers here. Well, hopefully it stays away then, because I know I was looking at the forecast for the duels and the 500, and it looks like it's going to be pretty rainy, so we're going to need David to do that rain dance all weekend. He's going to be pretty tired, but I don't want another rain out for the 500. Milton says, Chase to the rear. Not going to affect me too much. I mean, if people are going to be scared about that, I think that makes him just an even stronger play. Obi says, let's go Recce. Yeah, I'm rooting for Recce too. I have a good amount of Recce Stenhouse here. Ryan says, what is Monkey Knife Fight? I'm not sure what states it's legal in. It might be available in all states, so I'm not really sure about that. But it's like a DFS site. You kind of pick you have to parlay player fantasy point bets, things like that, over under something. You should check it out. It actually does look pretty fun. There's actually some good payouts. You can 3x, 4x, 5x your buy-ins. It looks pretty fun. John says, do you like MDB or Kurt Busch more? Thanks, buddy. Welcome back, John. I know you're always usually here, and I do appreciate that. I would say Kurt Busch. He's one of the better road course drivers. He's starting 15th. I think he's in a really good spot tonight. Chase says 98 watching, 49 likes. Awesome. Appreciate you guys stopping in for kind of like a preseason expedition race. So like the support on here, guys. Jeff says Chase for the win. I mean, he's still good. I mean, obviously, it's going to hurt his chances a little bit going to the rear, but hey, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. I would say, if I still had to bet who's going to win, I would say Chase, even though he's still in the back. You're welcome, Michael. John says, any Kyle Busch love from you, Chris? Thanks for all you do. Of course, I liked Kyle Busch, I feel like, every single week last year. Now, it didn't work out a lot, but when it did work, It was nice. But I do like Kyle Busch here. Starting 16th, he's cheap. I know he's been pretty bad at road courses recently, but he should be fine. Corey says, are you under, even, or over the field with Harvick? I feel like I'm a little bit over the field. I feel like I'm going to be close. I'm above 55% if that answers your questions, but I could see him being anywhere from 50 to 60%. So I feel like I'm going to be close to even, but I'm planning on being a little bit overweight. Amanda says, so you may have answered this and I just missed it, but Chase or Martin? I like Martin Truex the best on the site. I think he is the best play, and that was before Chase Elliott went to the rear. So even with Chase Elliott going to the rear now, I mean, I would definitely say Martin Truex Jr. He's just starting 18th. He's nearly as good as Chase Elliott. He doesn't have the wins, but the guy's very, very good at road courses. But I'm playing a lot of them together. Like most of my lineups, that's like a lot of my lineups have both Chase Elliott and Truex together. Spread says audio great. Okay, maybe Chase's internet was acting up during then. So if anything happens, please let me know. I want to fix it. Spread Attack says, I'd still take Chase. Storms to the front. Robo after the wreck. Yeah, I remember that. That was, I forget what year that was. But yeah, Chase, man, he's just too good at road courses. It's insane. 40 cars. Now he only has to go through 20. Drew says, you keep mentioning the possibility that DK overprices Jones as if he's still in the 20, but last year they priced him as if he was in the 43. You were right, Drew. You were right. But we usually expect DraftKings to do the right thing. Or I'm sorry, we don't usually expect DraftKings to do the right thing. So maybe they'll have that switched up because they were pricing Suarez like he was still with Joe Gibbs or Stuart Haas. So we'll see. I remember when Eric Jones wasn't he like 6,300 or 6,600 the one race? That was insane. I feel like he wrecked though that race, so it didn't matter. Juliana, my girlfriend, my lovely girlfriend's here. She says, can't wait to win some money this season thanks to you. She actually plays DraftKings. I don't even make her lineups for her. She just watches the video. I show her my spreadsheet, and she does pretty good. I remember she won our first, I think she tied for first in our first tournament I ran. So nice to have you here. David says, hi. Hi, David. Gerald says, do you have any lineups without Chase? Yeah, I definitely have some lineups without Chase. I never lock a driver because if I lock a driver, I know they're going to wreck. So the highest I usually try to go is, well, it depends. Like for Daytona, I'll probably depending where these guys qualify, it could be like 40, 50%. In this race, the highest I am on someone is like 65, 70%. So I don't go 100% on anybody. Just because there's so much risk in NASCAR. A guy loses a tire, you just can't project some of those things. Like in NBA, if there's a guy 3K getting 30 minutes, yeah, I'll press lock button. But for NASCAR, it's just not something you can really do with too much confidence. Chris says, hopefully Chase Elliott's ownership comes down with that news. Yeah, I'm hoping so. I mean, I don't really think it matters too much. David says, hi again. Hi again, David. Chase says, sorry, Chris, it was my internet every time. You're good, Chase. You're good. FE says, so Chase is going to the back. Now, I've not seen that with my own eyes, but from what you guys telling me, and I believe you guys, he is going to the rear. So I don't know what the reason was. I guess I'll have to see what Bob says on Twitter afterwards. But Ryan says, a little off topic, but do you think Chase underperformed in the Rolex 24? I wasn't going into too much into Rolex 24, so I can't really give you a analysis on that. I do apologize. I was keeping up with some updates on Twitter from Jeff Gluck, but I wasn't really too into it. I'm just a big NASCAR fan. Just the other racing, I mean, it's fun to watch, but I wasn't like really too into it. John says, I noticed William Byron a minus 145 favorite over Bowman on betting lines. Maybe a GPP contrarian play. Are you still fading him? Are you talking about William Byron? I do like William Byron. I'm playing a decent amount of William Byron. I'd say anywhere from between that 10 to 20% range. I'm not playing much Alex Bowman whatsoever, but I do like Byron. If I said I was going to fade him at some point, I didn't mean it because I do like him tonight. Oh, Gerard, I'm so sorry. There's an R in my name, bud. I'm sorry, Gerard. I apologize for that. It just looks so much like Gerald from where I'm sitting. You can mess up my name next time so we can be even. You can call me Chase or something. Chase says, she won the first one and you and I tied the second one. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the first one, I think we had like a 6-way tie. I was going to say, it looks like I'm cheating now because me and my girlfriend both got first, but we landed on the same lineup. John says, Julian, I just want to say thanks for supporting the man and helping us all out. Chris is going to go far in the sport. Appreciate that, John. That's very nice of you. Very, very kind. Chris says, I thought I won the first one. Oh, maybe you did. Did I win the second one then? Because I do remember paying you $25. Or was it a tie? You might have won the first one straight out. Can't really remember. Chase says, I have won a monkey knife fight 50x multiplier on a $5 bet once. My biggest cash ever, but my favorite win ever. Or not my biggest cash ever, but my favorite win ever. Plus monkey knife fight is just fun to say. It is a fun name. But man, that's awesome. 50x multiplier. I'd love to see what that looked like. What sport was it? Gerard says, "LOL, no worries. I get that all the time." It just looks. I don't usually say the name Gerard, so it looks just so much like Gerald. It's easier to say. MC says, Bob says, chases to the back for unapproved adjustment. Team needed to fix a fault. Well, I mean, if he's going to be cheating, I definitely want him on my team for sure. That's what I always say. Juliana says, oh, no problem. He's amazing. I agree. Appreciate that. I think I caught up to the chat. Michael says, Chris, you're a class above the NFL guys. Appreciate that, Michael. Appreciate it. I'll take a drink of water and see if there's a couple more questions. Because I do need to get out of here by at least by 6:30. I have my NASCAR lineup set, but I have to update my NBA stuff because I haven't looked at it in an hour or 30 minutes, and I'm sure half the league just got rolled out. So I'll have to fix that stuff. Chase says it was NFL, got 8 out of 8 right. Over under yard situations for players. That's awesome, man. Congrats on that. That's awesome. Ryan says lock Elliott, move on. I wouldn't lock, but he is one of my highest owned drivers. Like, I never say lock in NASCAR because the guy can easily hit the wall if something stupid happens, but he's close to a lock. I mean, the guy's just phenomenal at road courses. Scary Flying says, just got in. I'm glad to have you here. I think we're nearing the end, but I'm glad you did show up. Chase is moving to the back. Who do you like in place of Chase tonight? I would not let that scare you. I think Chase is still a fine play. Keep in mind, guys, we usually have close to 40 car fields. We only have 21 cars, so Chase is not really going to have to go through too much of a field here. He should be he should easily be able to pass Ty Dillon, Ryan Newman, Austin Dillon, Cole Custer, Chris Busch, or Stenhouse. I mean, I don't think that's going to be too hard for Chase Elliott. I'm sure he'll be inside the top 10 very, very quickly. See, Effie says, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, darn right. And if they're going to be cheating, I want them in my lineup, so we'll take advantage of that. Let's see. Chase says, challenged you as always on Draftkings, just a buck, no pressure. I know you will if you see it, but no issue whatsoever. Yeah, sometimes I miss them. Like, after a fact, I'll go on my notifications and I'll miss some contest invites that I got. So as long as they're a number, I'll join. It's only $1. Michael says, Chris, thanks, and go win some money. Appreciate it, Michael. You as well. Hopefully you can win some too. Amanda says, thank you for the help and good luck, everyone. Good luck, Amanda. Wish you the best tonight. Sepha says, are you going to broadcast the race live? Oops, sorry, or you just have your reaction? I'm not going to be live because I think if I broadcasted the race, I'd probably get a copyright strike or something. Plus, I don't know how I do that. So I'm actually going to hop off here and probably by 6:30 or sooner, whenever you guys are done asking questions. So I won't be broadcasting the race. That'd be fun too, though. We did that for the qualifying for the Coke 600, and that was fun. Live reaction for that. DePalma 13 says, highest owned driver tonight. If you're asking my personal one or who the highest owned driver in the field is going to be, in the field, I think it's going to be Martin Truex, and that's going to reflect on my exposures as well. Especially with Chase going to the back, I think that definitely will make Truex the highest owned driver tonight. I mean, I don't see how we can really fail outside of wrecking, which we can't project. Starting 18th, he's nearly as good as Chase Elliott at road courses. I mean, near a lock, if you want to call anyone a lock in NASCAR. Chris says, thank you for all you do, man. My man. Good luck tonight. Appreciate it, Chris. I'll see you in the Discord chat. John says, heading out. Can't wait for the weekend's content. Enjoy the opener. Yeah, for sure. I'm really excited for the weekend content. I'll be on the live before lock on Osimo. I think the race starts at 2:30, so I'll be on there at 1:30. I'm going to have my own live stream at 10 a.m., I think. So I'll be busy on Sunday. But if you guys want to hop in my live stream, then we'll go over to Osimo in an hour or two after we have some lunch or something. I'll be looking forward to that. Gerard says, who do you think is the most overpriced driver tonight? That's a good question. I almost feel like Eric Jones could be the most overpriced driver, to be honest. I think there's a lot of guys that are underpriced because this is a very soft pricing slate. But actually, I guess if one driver was to be overpriced, I think Eric Jones would be the first guy that comes to my mind because he's not, like, his equipment's worse than MDB, Eric Almirola. I mean, I'd say below Tyler Reddick. So I do think he's a bit overpriced since he's in new equipment, which is not good. Bonnie says, as of right now, DK contests are nowhere near maxed out. Looks good for the payout structure. Good luck, everybody. Sweet. I was I was kind of worried because I forgot to enter contest until this afternoon, and I saw like in the $8, I want to say there's only 8,000 out of 22,000 people. I was like, geez, see if there's going to fill or not. Kemper says Kurt or Harvick. Well, if price isn't an issue, I would definitely say Harvick there. I like both those guys. Those are some of my favorite plays in the slate. Obi says, good luck, Chris. Get that Godapot. That's a new word I've heard, but I'll get it, whatever it is. Randall, I believe I'm saying your name right. How much exposure to Byron? I personally have around 10 to 20%, somewhere in that range. I think that's a good place to be for Byron because he is starting really close to the front. I think he's going to have a decent race. It's just starting 5th. I mean, Kurt Busch should be able to outscore him. MDB's got a shot there since he's starting 12th. Almirola starting last, so just a little bit of a risky play, but I do like him in tournaments for sure. Joe says, thanks for everything. Really enjoyed the show. Awesome, Joe. I was debating on even doing this show because I wasn't sure how many people would show for the Clash, but it looks like we got quite a few people here, so do appreciate everyone stopping by just for Expedition Race, really. Chase says, good luck, bro. Good chat, and glad we are back. Me too, Chase. Can't wait to do these every single week. Going to be awesome. Let's see. FE says, hope you all win money tonight. Good luck to everyone. So glad NASCAR is back. Thanks, CP6. Yeah, no problem. I think your name's Rick because I know some of you guys from Twitter, and then you have your YouTube name. I'm pretty sure you're Rick, so appreciate that. Ryan says, if it doesn't fill, does the increase our chances? Yeah, it definitely helps to have overlay for sure. I mean, just boost your odds because the percentage payout just relative to the people in there definitely works in your favor. Dave says, great stuff. Talk to you all this weekend. Be good, brother. It feels like everyone's saying their goodbyes, so we're probably going to wrap this up soon, but it was a fun chat. I believe about 45 minutes, so yeah, pretty strong chat for just the Clash. Gerard says, thanks for all the advice, man. Yeah, no problem, man. Randall says, nailed it. Awesome. Yeah, I think I caught up to the chat, so I'm probably going to get out of here. So if you guys have any last words or remarks, you better get them in now. I will take a drink of water. If something comes up, I'll answer it. If not, I will sign off. And I'll see you guys on the duels on Thursday. All right, we look good. I'm getting thumbs up. Okay, I'm going to see if I can remember how to end this chat. I haven't done this in a while, so I think I just go to YouTube and yeah, press end stream. All right, appreciate everyone stopping by. If you want the extra content, it's on Patreon. Follow me on social media if you haven't already. Looks like we got around 400 total viewers, not concurrent, but 400. That's pretty darn good for the Clash, I think. So I'll see you guys in the next one and appreciate you stopping by.